So in the end, it's really not about talent. It's about watching someone who thought they were above it all finally get humbled. And as far as Hollywood drama goes, this is the sort that not a lot of people can look away from.
Rachel Zegler is facing controversy after the Eva situation. Many questioned her sudden exit during Evita, since leaving mid-performance shocked the audience and raised discussions.
Rachel Zegler makes a sudden exit from the stage during Evita.
Many fans expressed frustration, saying they deserved refunds and an apology. Some admitted they hardly know Rachel, while others criticized her role in Disney's upcoming Snow White project.
You can't talk about woke Snow White film exhaustingly awful and then say, "Take that, you haters." But now she is hoping that the luminous Evita can eradicate the debacle that surrounded her recent Snow White in Disney's calamitous woke remake.
Rachel, who starred in West Side Story at just 17, even won a Golden Globe, was once called Hollywood's rising star. Disney invested heavily in her for Snow White, sparking debate about whether the gamble will succeed.
About the very first actress in history to become box office poison before she ever came box office. You know what I'm talking about.
Before the film even reached theaters, it faced heavy criticism. Some online called it a box office risk, noting how rare it is for movies to struggle before release. Snow White was promoted as a bold reboot, but it quickly drew millions of dislikes, boycott petitions, and backlash, even from people who hadn't watched it. Many felt Rachel treated the story too personally. When controversy grew, some argued Disney attempted to downplay the situation.
And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part.
Even Walt Disney's old quote, "Never remake Snow White," resurfaced and trended online. And this was before the Evita controversy. Many argued that if the Snow White backlash looked bad, the theater incident in London, with wardrobe choices, balcony concerns, and an emotional onstage moment, made things more complicated.
An eyewitness tells E! News that around 15 minutes into the interval, it was announced that her understudy, Bella Brown, would be stepping in to finish the show.
Rachel got a second chance. New country, new role, fresh audience. Many expected redemption, but her Evita debut drew criticism. Instead of performing the iconic "Don't Cry for Me Argentina" on stage, she stepped outside and sang it from the balcony. Paying theatergoers felt disappointed, noting they had invested in premium tickets but got an unusual experience with background noise.
Bella later said on her Instagram stories after the show, "Today really showed just how important swings and covers are within this industry. They are the pillars of a show. A proud day to be at Evita." Rachel is currently scheduled to return for the July 25th evening performance of the show.
Rachel got a second chance. New country, new role, fresh audience. Many expected redemption, but her Evita debut drew criticism. Instead of performing the iconic "Don't Cry for Me Argentina" on stage, she stepped outside and sang it from the balcony. Paying theatergoers felt disappointed, noting they had invested in premium tickets but got an unusual experience with background noise.
Paying customers are waiting to see her on stage, and she took off and headed to a balcony where she could belt out Evita's hit song "Don't Cry for Me Argentina" live for free.
Then came the viral moment, Rachel tearing up on stage after a standing ovation. Some online suggested it looked more like a publicity move than genuine emotion. Critics questioned the performance, and audiences seemed divided. Many joked that the only real purchase involved was refund protection.
I'm a white Latina. I hold a lot of privilege. It falls on my shoulders to open up the doors for the people who, or they're disenfranchised.
Let's rewind to the troubled Snow White release. Disney reportedly spent around $270 million on production and another $140 million on marketing. Over $410 million total. With such a massive budget, expectations were high, but opening weekend brought in only $43 million domestically. Many observers labeled it a major financial setback.
I'm a narcissist.
In China, usually a strong market for Disney, the film earned under $1 million, a surprisingly low figure for the world's second largest box office. By week 2, revenues reportedly dropped by more than half. Some theaters reduced its showings to less favorable time slots, while others quietly pulled it from schedules altogether. Here's the twist. Some reports claimed Disney insiders placed much of the blame on Rachel. She was the main face of the campaign, and critics said she became tied to its struggles. During the press tour, her comments sparked headlines, calling the prince outdated, describing the story as different from the original, and suggesting Snow White would be more independent. Supporters called it modern, but others felt it strayed too far from tradition.
Cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
Then came the Blizzard explanation, suggesting Snow White's name wasn't about appearance, but about surviving hardship. Some fans felt it rewrote the character's legacy too much. Interviews with co-star Gal Gadot also drew attention, with many viewers noting awkward moments and little chemistry between them. Critics compared it to watching two colleagues forced into polite conversation rather than genuine friendship.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Even commentators from very different backgrounds, like Bill Maher and Candace Owens, agreed Rachel was a questionable casting choice. That rare agreement alone sparked headlines. Critics said her press tour comments felt dismissive of the original fairy tale, as she often described love as outdated and framed the story in modern terms. Supporters viewed it as empowering, but many longtime fans felt it strayed too far from the classic they grew up with.
People will assume it's a love story just because, we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Here's the reality. Many audiences didn't connect with this version of Snow White. Viewers hoped for magic, nostalgia, and charm, but felt the tone was more serious than expected. Critics said Rachel's interviews often sounded more like speeches, focusing on themes such as patriarchy and modern womanhood. Supporters viewed her approach as bold, but others felt it replaced the lighthearted fantasy with heavy commentary.
It was a wholesome family film, and now they've turned it into woke trash. Check this out from Wokeness. Disney's Snow White said that harm should befall Trump and his voters. Do not see this film.
Rachel's interviews often felt more like lectures than movie promotion. Many viewers wanted lighthearted magic, but critics noted a serious tone, with some comments appearing dismissive of fans. During appearances, she mentioned the challenge of engaging with fans, which some interpreted as distant. Supporters praised her honesty and boldness, while others felt it lacked the warmth typically expected from a Disney princess role.
Anyway, we know that our girl Rachel likes to yap, so if she's going out of her way to basically escape talking to the media about the film that she's starring in, then I think we can reasonably assume that some things are going on behind the scenes.
During the Snow White promo tour, Rachel tweeted about a political issue. While everyone is entitled to their opinion, some critics felt the timing was not ideal for a family-oriented movie campaign. Observers noted it created unexpected controversy, especially given the diverse cast and international audience.
That is not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
After the tweet, the online response was intense. Some cast members received negative messages, and Disney reportedly assigned Rachel guidance for social media. Despite precautions, the topic trended worldwide, generating memes, discussions, and viral clips. She quickly became a focal point in online conversations surrounding the film, drawing both criticism and commentary from fans and media alike.
I stand there 18 hours in a dress. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
And if she's getting paid by the hour watched, you can understand why she's happy with these figures.
The controversy continued with the casting decisions for the dwarfs in Snow White. Originally, Disney planned to cast actors with dwarfism, but after public commentary from Peter Dinklage about representation, the studio reconsidered its approach. This decision sparked discussions online about inclusivity, creative choices, and the balance between honoring classic characters and modern perspectives.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
The final casting change replaced live actors with CGI characters for the dwarfs. Some critics argued the animation looked dated, while Rachel praised the update as a step toward modern representation. Discussions arose online about balancing inclusivity with providing opportunities for actors, sparking debate over the studio's creative choices and approach to classic characters.
And then they couldn't put dwarfs because this is just so typical of the left. The progressives always finding a way to find their way back to doing something not progressive.
The casting changes sparked widespread reactions from both progressive and conservative audiences. Some actors who were initially cast voiced disappointment, noting the lost opportunities. Meanwhile, Rachel continued promoting the film, drawing both criticism and attention. Online communities created memes and comparisons, playfully imagining her as various exaggerated characters. Discussions trended widely across social media, highlighting how viral reactions can amplify debate over casting and creative choices.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Online reactions continued strongly, with users creating humorous nicknames and commentary about Rachel. Many discussions came from everyday viewers, including former fans and people who hadn't even seen the film. The conversation centered on opinions about casting choices and the challenges of modernizing a classic Disney story, sparking widespread debate across social media.
Like, don't get me wrong, I know that there are some people, or probably many people, who've worked really hard on this movie, but I do love watching Disney collapse in on itself.
Theaters showed low attendance for Snow White, with some screenings featuring only a few audience members. Social media highlighted reactions from staff and viewers alike, sparking widespread discussion. Even commentators with differing viewpoints expressed surprise at the attention Rachel received, noting the unusual level of public discourse surrounding the film's release.
Now, the interesting thing is this next sentence. After being cast as Disney's princess, Zegler had to enjoy hateful racist attacks on social media about her Colombian heritage. And this is a remarkably similar sentence to this, almost word for word. When you put them back to back, it is very bizarre.
Rachel continued to make changes to the Evita script, aiming to modernize certain aspects. Critics noted that some felt the updates shifted the focus from the original story. While her intent may have been to offer a fresh perspective, audiences expecting a faithful performance sometimes expressed disappointment, observing that key themes and nuance appeared altered in favor of a more contemporary interpretation.
Snow White, the film that bombed so hard that it only brought in $50 a screen over Mother's Day weekend, is now somehow the #1 streaming hit on Disney+. And before you ask, you're going to say, how did this happen?
Even though the script changes weren't officially confirmed, many viewers were skeptical. Rachel's credibility with audiences seemed diminished, with some questioning her choices. Later, during ovations, she appeared emotional again. But social media reactions were mixed. Some interpreted her tears as part of the performance rather than genuine sentiment, reflecting how prior controversies shaped public perception.
I say, if I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
At this stage, Rachel Zegler had become a highly talked about figure in Hollywood. Industry insiders noted that her public controversies made her a challenging presence for casting directors. This wasn't a minor PR issue. Many described it as a major professional setback, with significant attention on her actions and choices.
Headline after headline demonstrating the horrible reputation that she has made for herself because she just can't seem to keep her own thoughts in her brain.
Some departments associated with Snow White experienced layoffs or restructuring, though not directly related to Rachel. Reports suggested executives recommended limiting her participation in promotional campaigns due to public perception concerns. Her visibility in marketing materials was minimized, reflecting efforts to manage audience response and maintain the film's overall brand image.
Terrible and a little bit hilarious. You know what I mean. What I have found to be exceptionally funny in the lead up to this film is how Disney has seemingly gone out of its way to stop its lead actress, Rachel Zegler, from talking to basically any media.
Some projects Rachel was attached to were reportedly reviewed or delayed. Her involvement was minimized in internal discussions and marketing plans, reflecting a cautious approach from the studio. Critics noted that press appearances occasionally drew controversy, generating mixed reactions from fans and media, which may have influenced how future projects were managed.
An iconic song, yes, but it's the balcony grabbing all the attention.
Rachel received widespread attention for the early reactions to Snow White, with some viewers deciding not to see the film after seeing her name attached. Later, she spoke publicly about mental health challenges, including stress and emotional struggles during promotions. While audiences and media commented on the timing and nature of these statements, discussions highlighted the pressures faced by actors during high-profile releases.
And things are already shaping up to be a bit of a shirt show. Poop show? No, I don't like that.
Rachel shared that online criticism affected her personally, but many pointed out that her prior public statements and actions had fueled controversy. Audiences expressed frustration that the film felt more focused on modern commentary than the original story's charm. Some viewers hoped for magic and nostalgia, but instead discussions noted the movie's tone emphasized contemporary themes, which shaped reactions and attendance.
About the very first actress in history to become box office poison before she ever came box office. You know what I'm talking about.
Rachel attempted public apologies, but many observers felt they lacked sincerity. Critics and audiences from various perspectives noted the statements often seemed formulaic and did not fully address concerns. Her later Evita performances, including balcony appearances, received mixed reactions online, with discussions highlighting both her emotional delivery and public perception.